7 things to know about Elam and biblical prophecy fulfilled in Iran. 1. Elam's ancient roots, from Noah to Iran. We begin our journey in the ancient past with a name you might not often hear in modern news, Elam. But this name, deeply etched into the very fabric of biblical history, holds profound significance for today. Elamites are direct descendants of Noah's son, Shem, through his eldest son, Elam. Think about that for a moment. A lineage stretching back to the dawn of civilization, explicitly named in Genesis 10:22. This isn't just ancient history. It's your history, part of God's unfolding plan. Today, the descendants of Elam are known to the world as Iran. This connection is not a coincidence. It is a divine thread woven through millennia, connecting ancient prophecy to current events. Do you see the weight of this truth? The very land of Iran holds a biblical identity, often overlooked yet crucial for understanding the times we live in. 2. Elam, God's warrior against Babylon. The Bible reveals Elam not as a footnote, but as a key player in God's divine drama. Isaiah 21:2 speaks of God sending Elam into battle, declaring his justice. These were not timid people. The Elamites were mighty warriors, fierce defenders of their own, formidable in combat. They were instruments in God's hand. Consider the implications. God, in his infinite sovereignty, uses nations, uses armies, to fulfill his righteous decrees. This wasn't mere geopolitical maneuvering. It was a cosmic battle, orchestrated by the Almighty. This shows us that even in the chaos of human conflict, God is at work, moving pieces on a divine chessboard to bring about his will. And 3, Elam's judgment on Babylon, a prophecy fulfilled. One of the most astonishing prophecies involving Elam concerns Babylon. Isaiah 22:6 paints a vivid picture, God overthrowing Babylon by the hand of the Elamites. Imagine the scene. Elamite warriors with quivers full, riding their chariots and horses, plundering the mighty Babylon. This was not a random act of war. It was a direct fulfillment of God's judgment. This isn't just history. It's a terrifying example of divine justice. When God declares judgment, it will come to pass, often through unexpected instruments. This should stir a holy fear within us and remind us that no empire, no nation, no power stands outside the reach of God's ultimate authority. 4. God's throne established in Elam, a future hope. But Elam's story doesn't end with judgment. There's a breathtaking prophecy in Jeremiah 49:38-39, a promise that transcends war and destruction. God declares, "I will set my throne in Elam." Think about that. God establishing his throne in a land known for its ancient wars and its modern turmoil. He will destroy Elam's king and officials, yes, but then he will restore Elam's fortunes in the future. This is a promise of restoration, of divine intervention that brings hope out of desolation. This is not just about a nation, it's about God's redemptive heart for all peoples. It speaks of a future where divine presence will transform even the most challenging landscapes. Are you ready for this kind of radical transformation? 5. Daniel's vision, the ram and the goat, unveiling Persia. Now let's turn to Daniel chapter 8, a vision of immense prophetic significance. Daniel sees an allegorical story of a ram and a goat. This vision, as interpreted by the angel Gabriel, reveals a powerful truth. An entity would arise to destroy Persia, the empire that encompassed ancient Elam, as a world power. This prophecy was fulfilled with stunning accuracy centuries later, demonstrating the meticulous detail of God's prophetic word. This is not vague speculation. This is precise divine foresight, laid out for us to see. It underscores the reliability of biblical prophecy and the absolute certainty of God's plans. If God can predict the rise and fall of empires with such accuracy, imagine what he has planned for your life. 6. God is working Among Elam, a call to faith. The story of Elam is not just about historical judgments and future thrones. It's also about God's ongoing, relentless work among people, even today. Elam is part of the family of God, and Revelation 7:9 gives us a glimpse of the culmination, a great multitude that no one could count, from every nation, tribe, people and language, standing before the throne and before the Lamb. God is actively working among the descendants of Elam, helping more people to place their faith in his Son, Jesus Christ. This is not a static prophecy. It is a dynamic, living work of salvation, reaching into every corner of the earth. We are part of this grand narrative. This should ignite a passion within us to see God's redemptive plan unfold globally. 7. Elamites present at Pentecost, a glimpse of the church's birth. Finally, we come to a pivotal moment in the history of the church. Pentecost. Acts 2:9-11 records individuals from all over the known world gathered in Jerusalem, witnessing the birth of the church and hearing the gospel proclaimed in their own languages. And among them, explicitly named, were Elamites. This is profound. At the very moment the church exploded onto the scene, people from the land of Elam were there, receiving the Holy Spirit, becoming part of the new covenant community. This demonstrates God's inclusive heart from the very beginning for all nations, for all peoples, including those from Elam, modern-day Iran. This is a powerful testament to the universal reach of the gospel and God's desire for all to be saved. The implications of Elam in biblical prophecy are astounding. They bridge the gap between ancient texts and modern headlines, revealing God's hand in history and his unfailing plan for the future. Are you paying attention? Subscribe to Ignite for weekly biblical truth you won't hear elsewhere.